डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर ओपन युनिव्हर्सिटी.
नमस्कार विद्यार्थी मित्रों, डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब आंबेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी बीबीए प्रोग्राम में ह्यूमन रिसोर्स मैनेजमेंट कोर्स में आपका स्वागत है. दिस साइड डॉक्टर जिग्नेश त्रिवेदी फ्रॉम नारायणा बिजनेस स्कूल अहमदाबाद. As we have started second block, so today we are going to discuss second unit of our second block. If you can recall, initially we have discussed recruitment and selection, and today we are going to discuss training. So let's start the session. Block 2, Unit 2, Training, Human Resource Management. So as you all are aware, it's BBA 302, Human Resource Management, and we are at Chaitanya Studio, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University. So in previous session, we have discussed about recruitment and selection, the one from where we can start upon how to get people who would be available for our organization. So today we are going to discuss the subsequent function of human resource management, that is training. This could be the learning objectives, like basically what is training all about, how we can assess the training requirements, how the process of training would be followed in general in organizations, different methods available to provide training to different people, and followed by what are the challenges would be available before HR people as well as other people associated with the training. So let's start the interesting topic and one of the core function of human resource management, training. So dear students, as you can see, like somewhat similar picture, the way you can see me through this online platform, you can learn different topics of different subjects by various experts like me through this wonderful online platform provided by Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University. Just in the same case, if you can see from this particular picture, training is nothing but a person who is having a mastery over something, try to disseminate, try to transform the same level of knowledge, same level of learning towards other people who are in need of that. So that's called training. The one who is passing the training, that's known as trainer. The one who is providing training is a trainer, and the ones who are receiving are known as trainees. If we check upon the formal definitions, so there would be first given by scholar E.B. Filippo. It's an act of increasing the knowledge and skills of an employee for doing a particular job. So training would be specific to some sort of extraordinary as well as normal acts you are going to perform. Second, Michael Armstrong, like it's a formal and systematic modification of behavior through learning which occurs as a result of education, like what we are receiving, instruction, development, and planned experience. So it is not something haphazardly happen. It requires a systematic approach. Conscious efforts need to be put upon from both the sides. Then only training would be possible. Training is any process by which attitudes, skills, and abilities of employees to perform specific jobs are improved. So according to Mr. Jusius, here the attempt is not that like people, those who are receiving training are useless or having no idea about a job or a task. No, it's not like that. It is something like some task has been given to you, but you are already aware how to do that task. But over a period of time, you have to improve your capacity so that the way you were able to perform that task earlier, now you can make that task complete in lesser time with better efficiency and speed. That's why training is being required. आप जो करते थे वो अच्छा कर रहे, बट उससे ज्यादा बेहतर करे, उसके लिए ट्रेनिंग अवेलेबिलिटी की रिक्वायरमेंट है. That's what training is all about. Now, if we check the significance of training, how much it is important. First, it will enlarge our skills and competency. हमारी जो भी कैपेसिटीज है उससे इंप्रूव होती है, एनलार्ज होती है. Second, we can effectively utilize our existing human resource, whatever people available with us in whatever positions. By providing suitable training, you can utilize them for better upcoming, more challenging roles. It will increase customer satisfaction. Like, let me give you an example. If you are talking to a customer care executive of company A and company B, then you will decide that let's go for company B. Why? Because the response provided by company B was superior and far more satisfactory than the response provided by company A. Hence, a trained employee can offer satisfaction to the customers. Ultimately, you can retain old one and you can add upon the new ones. It creates your competitive advantage. Like competitive advantage is something, your any one USP, unique selling point, where your competitor cannot copy you or cannot beat you. So if you have talented plus well-trained employees, then that's the most probable, not copied competitive advantage. Your competitors will have very much difficulty in order to copy this. Then team spirit. When people are not trained, it might be possible they'll have some issues, they'll have some egos, they'll have some issue of subordination and improper coordination. But when you provide them proper training, what will happen? They are going to coordinate well. They can make things happen together. So training leads to positive team spirit. It ensures personal growth. Like in a team of 20 people, company has offered free software learning. Out of 20, 10 has gone for that. 10 people learned that. Now whatever, after 6 months or after a year, there is an opportunity to go outside a country. But the condition, those who have a knowledge of that software can only eligible to apply. Now imagine the situation. Out of 20, 50% couldn't apply because they don't know that software. So only 10 people can apply, and out of those 10, few people would be eligible and they'll go. So that is what it becomes, a medium of your personal growth. That's how training is important. And training will help us to maintain health and safety parameters. Like, understand, like if you don't know a particular language and if instructions are mentioned in that language, you are unable to go through that, and that's why some accident might take place. But if you are well trained about those instructions, if things have been communicated to you and you are well learned with that, you can avert that accident. You can ignore that and you can be safe, and you can make others safe as well. So this was the significance, importance of training. Now how we can assess training needs. So first, it's about performance evaluation. लोगों ने already कैसा काम किया है, we have to check that. followed by job analysis, what actually that job entails. हम जो पढ़ के बैठे हैं, job analysis and job design, like whatever work people have done compared to that, what was expected, like what was part of that job actually. Then attitude survey, like what sort of human requirements are there. So what level of attitude would be expecting from people, those who are working for that level of job profiles. And advisory panel. Accordingly, the panel would be formed who are basically a masters, a well-experienced people of that discipline, and unitedly they are going to discuss that what level of training requirements are there for people of whom jobs have been analyzed. So that's how we can make it final job assessment requirement, like whatever feedback has been provided, so we can decide and we can finally make sure that this kind of training would be required to people, those who are working in our organization. That's how common assessment has been made. Now let's check the most important topic of this particular unit, probably the training process. How entire training process has been undergo in general for organizations. Very minimum changes would take place, otherwise in general it remains same. So if you consider, it begins with stage number 1, that what are the training requirements, why we would like to provide training to our people. Let's say you want to come up with new product or services, there is some issue with their existing work profile or their performance. There are certain things which you are allotting them, which was not allocating them earlier. So there can be different requirements, or you are trying to send them for international assignments. So anything could be there, but first we have to determine the requirement. Followed by stage number 2, develop training objectives. Like it is required, as you all aware, any process cannot be possible without the objective associated with it. So as it's a training process, what we would like to achieve, why we are doing this process, such objectives should be there, very much clear in the mind of everyone. So second, objective determination is mandatory. Once objectives are clear, then you can move on to stage number 3, that what are the techniques, how training would be imparted. Followed by this slide, we are going to discuss like different methods or techniques available, how training would be imparted to trainees at different levels. So you have to figure out what would be the appropriate technique, because let me give you an example. The way a training has been given to bank cashiers, similarly a training cannot be provided to clerks or a mining workers. It's a different. So same method won't be applicable to everyone. Next stage, stage number 4, will identify the trainer, the one who is going to run the business. Here the business is providing training. Who is going to impart? Kaun training provide karega? So we have to come up with the trainer, whether he or she would be inbound, that is within an organization, internal person, or you are asking some outsider, the external expert, to come and deliver the training. And stage number 5, that implement training program, real execution of training would be there. That is stage number 5. You are going to discuss with the trainer, and trainer entirely execute the plan which has been decided. Followed by the final stage, evaluation. As you all know, after completion of any process, we would like to evaluate that what is the conclusion. So even your training should have that feedback, that how people have conceived, whether any plus or minus feedback of training impact positive or negative, that should be evaluated and recorded. Accordingly, it would be helpful to proper planning of next layer of training. So it starts with training determining needs and ends with feedback provided based upon whatever training has been offered. This is considered to be training process for employees as well as for workers. Now let's check what type of training programs could be there. So like there are different programs available in different companies or at corporate or academics at different layers. Let's check few of them, the interesting ones. Number one, induction or orientation training. Whenever you are joining first time, some basic training would be imparted to you. It could be of an hour, of a day, of a week, or of a month. Depends. That's called induction. Similarly, when you will be moving from school to UG or UG to PG education, you'll go to new college, then there would be an induction training given, wherein they'll try to provide you basic idea about each and everything. Same goes with employee when he or she is join any new organization. Next is job training, like whatever is your actual work. Suppose you are an accountant and you are working on tally in previous job. Now here it's a SAP, it's an ERP. So they'll provide you the training how to run SAP and ERP software in order to accomplish your accounting task daily as well as annually. That's job training. Then promotional training. Suppose you have got a promotion based upon your excellent performance over others. So like from assistant manager to manager or manager to vice president. Now in that case, what happened? Certain new things you are required to be learned. So that training would be provided once you will be promoted. That's promotional training. Same refresher training. After completion of certain time period, they are expecting to offer you a training the same line wherein you are working. Let's take an example. An accountant will get a refresher training every 2 years about the software, about the accounting standards. Similarly, an educator, a faculty working in college or a teacher working in school have to go through refresher courses every 2 years or 3 years in order to refresh their knowledge of the subject, how they can deliver certain things in a classroom. That's refresher training. Apprenticeship training, engineers as well as ITI holders, once they complete their course or when they would be in the final semester of their course, they will be provided this training wherein from the company, from the colleges, they are going to send to the companies where they will be having apprenticeship training which lasts from 1 month to 1 year. Next would be online training. As you guys are receiving right now, it is nothing but a kind of online training because we are not at one spot on physical mode, but virtually we are connected. And here is an advantage: as per your conveniency, you can check this again and again and you can learn. So anything which you are having learning could be part of training. Internship training, just like engineers, when it's a duty of MBA, that is management graduates as well as medical graduates, MBBS or MBA, after completion of their study, they have to go to the companies and different places in order to get first-hand experience, and that's called internship training when they will be called interns. So these are different types of training programs. Now we have to check methods. What sort of major methods available before us? So in common, as you can see from the diagram, there are two types of training methods possible: on the job training and off the job training. Now students, let me make it very clear what is on the job and off the job. On the job, like along with your work, something would be provided as a learning base to you, that's on the job. On campus, along with your routine work, if something would be imparted to you, that comes under the category of online job training. The other one, off the job training, where working is not possible, completely training would be given to you. So let's check what are the different techniques available under both the banners. First, on the job. Training methods. Apprenticeship training. So it could be possible, like for few time they will be provided you some learning. Let's say an engineer, whether it is degree, diploma or ITI holder, some task has been given, and while you are working on that task, your superior will provide you that how you can make changes so that your work will be accomplished without much errors. So while you are working, and at the same point of time your learning would be there. It will be possible in case of apprenticeship as well as internship training. Similar to that, job rotation, like you are working on profile X, and at the same point of time it has been told that for some point of time of your routine work hours, you have to do part B also. So what happened? You are already working on part A, and now simultaneously you will spend some of your time in order to perform part B also. So that is going on, that's called job rotation, where your profile is being rotated. Move on. Internship, as I told you, company will provide you 1 month, 3 month or 6 month internship when task would be allotted. They want, or better word, they expect from you that you are going to complete certain objectives of organization. And yes, of course, they'll offer you resources for that, and they'll provide you suitable training also for the same. Now, job instruction training. What happened? As the job has been given to you, parallel your instructor, your superior or your immediate supervisor is keep on providing valuable instructions to you. आपको साथ में बताते जाएंगे how you are going to perform, काम कैसे करना है. That is something they will tell you. So that's called on the job training, because they are already told you what you are supposed to do. Now they are helping you that how you are going to do that. So apprenticeship as well as internship, and job instruction as well as job rotation. These are the methods of on the job training programs. Now let's check upon the second one, of the job. Now when we talk about off the job training methods, like on the job and off the job, both could be in short told OJT. And on the job training or off the job training. So don't misguide when OJT would be utilized. You have to read carefully whether they are talking about on the job or off the job. On off matters because it differentiates. So as we are talking about off the job now, first lecture method. The way like things are going on between both of us. Like you guys are listening from your end and I am delivering from my end. So what happened? Like whenever you are attending something via the medium of lecturership, like the way you are attending this class right now, at the same point of time you cannot work. It's not possible because you have to put 100% of your efforts and focus 100% over here in whatever learning has been imparted by my side towards you. So lecture method, that is a kind of classroom teaching, also provided or available in companies. This is off the job. Second, case study method. What happened? Like as part of your organization task, one particular small or medium size caselet have been offered to you. Now you guys have to solve those cases and come up with best possible solutions. Now what will happen? In that case, you cannot say, sir, let me go on field and work for 4-5 hours, and when I return for another 2-3 hours, I'll solve this. No, it's a full-time activity. You have to be there, you have to read, you have to analyze, and you have to come up with the solution of that case. Not necessary that everyone will come up with unique solution. People can have somewhat similarity, but yes, everyone should have a solution. Next would be role playing. Now what happens? If I am teaching you stress management, after providing the basic idea about stress management, try to understand if you are in real classroom. I will call two guys from your class. One would be the manager, the another would be executive. Now executive forgot to perform something. Now I have asked the one who was playing a role of manager to scold him or to pass on the strong message that if again you are going to forget such thing, you will have a great chance to leave from this organization. Now how that student who becomes a manager try to convey this message? That is considered to be role play. Anything could be played, and by playing those different roles, things would be clear to you. Whatever written words you are going to learn or go through, that's a different part. But when you can see something before your eyes, like the way any picture is going on, it would be very easy for you to recall. Same is the case with role playing. Laboratory training, like as you all aware, scientists are spending most of their lifetime span in labs. So certain things would be developed in labs, and before actual development, they keep on testing for number of times in the lab. So whenever you are making those tests, whenever you are trying to qualify or try to verify certain things, you have to have laboratory kind of training. Simulation training, when things would be offered to you in a real sense, but actually it is not. Like you want to learn car, or you want to learn how to drive a plane, rather how to make it a fly. So what happens? Simulators would be available. They will offer you basic level of training so that you can have that feel that when this happens in real scenario, how you can manage that. So these were the methods of off-the-job training. We have discussed already the on-the-job training. Now how we can select different training methods, and from that we have to figure out that which method would be applicable. So if we consider, whenever we try to select any training method, what are the things which we keep in mind? That what sort of task that is to be done, or the manner in which people should interact with each other. Like what sort of employees are working in your organization, highly skilled, semi-skilled, low skilled, no skilled at all. So that you have to check. Trainer should consider and keep himself or herself ready with possible maximum alternative methods to impart training. Why? Because everyone cannot learn with the same method. So by considering your crowd, you have to keep on accommodating some changes, which creates interest in the mind of crowd. Now, before you begin a training program, abilities of training should be assessed. Why training? Because you have to check whether training would able to fulfill the objectives of entire program, And second, the trainer, the one who is going to impart the training, would he or she is real sense be able to provide training? You have to check with that. You have to check about the capacity of a trainer also. अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ फिनेंस, पैसा सबसे बड़ी बात कि हम जो ट्रेनिंग की बढ़िया बात कर रहे हैं सब पॉसिबल है, बट तब पॉसिबल है जब हमारे पास पैसा हो. Then only that's possible, otherwise we have to make compromise. Now what are the challenges will be come before us whenever we have to come up with training? Now as we all have discussed, like there are different methods, like it could be on the job, it could be off the job. Advantages in case of on the job, work and learn both would be possible at same point of time, where in case of off the job, certain complexities would be such wherein you can parallel perform but couldn't perform with 100% excellence, and that's why a separate learning would be provided to you so that you can purely focus on the work, you can learn and you can accomplish your target as well as organization's target. So there was a distinguishedness between on the job training as well as off the job training. Now training would be given, so one major aspect would be trainer. If you have an excellent trainer who possesses that knowledge and who has an idea how to deliver things, then your training will have no problem to getting into trouble, because the one who is offering that training, when he is in full command, he is thorough with the subject and he has no issues with imparting training to different people, then your training would be like very much successful. Now let's check what are the challenges which impair the quality of training. Like training would be always successful. That is the general tendency of HR department. But there are certain problems which might be occurred at the time or after completion of training. Let's check upon them. First, many times after taking training and upgrading their skills, the employees might leave the organization. हुई selfish वाली बात. ये ऐसा हो गया, you have joined an organization not to settle your career over there, but to learn a particular specific qualities of people, those who are working there. मतलब आपको वहां काम करके लंबा करियर, बढ़िया करियर ऐसा नहीं बनाना है. आपका क्या फोकस है, वहां काम करके आप जो कुछ सीख जाओगे, सारा सीख जाओगे, सारा पता चल जाएगा, फिर आप चले जाओगे. तो what happened? Your company is no more remains a company. It will become a training institute. Second, training programs generally involve high cost and so are avoided by the organization, specifically small organization. Why? As we are discussing right now about training, but you can check on Google, there are trainers who are offering 10,000 rupees 1 hour training to 10 lakh rupees 1 day training. So training is not an easy affair. It's a difficult task. You have to take time and you have to spend so much money also. It might also possible that employees who are available might be lacking even basic skills of the job. अब आप ऐसा सोच रहे हो कि सबको ट्रेनिंग प्रोवाइड करे, बट पता चला जो बंदे काम कर रहे हैं उसमें से कुछ लोगों के बेसिक्स ही बहुत वीक है. Like as I have given you example in the beginning, you think the one who is working on tally, let's provide him the knowledge of SAP. क्या हुआ, यहाँ पे उसको टैली अच्छे से नहीं आता, अब आप SAP ERP क्या ही सिखाओगे उसे. And last, incapacity of a trainer create trouble for the organization. Many a times if your company is unfortunate, what happened? Due to your unfortunateness, you will get a trainer himself or herself is not capable to perform. Now in that case, your entire training program would be ruined. So these were the different things as far as training is concerned. So what are the conditions we can put upon? Let's check upon those conditions wherein we can make training possible. First, top management support should be there. Mindset of trainees should be positive to learn certain things. Training should remain continuous. अभी किया फिर 5 साल बाद दिया, ऐसा नहीं. And form and timing of training should be appropriate. आप ऐसा ट्रेन ऐसे तरीके से टाइम रखते हो, ऐसे कंडीशंस में ऑफर करते हो, so that people can go for, then only your training will have a success. So by this we are concluding our topic called training. For next session we'll see you the another topic. Till the time, happy learning. Have a great day. Thank you so much, students.
स्वाध्यायः परमं तप